My beloved child, before you listen to the next words, I want you to pause for a moment and breathe deeply, because what I am about to speak is not a gentle message meant to be skimmed like any other encouragement. This is a wake-up call from heaven, a bell ringing from the unseen realm that is shaking the very roots of your family. There is a door the natural eye cannot see, but the spiritual realm has seen it open for a long time. And now it is glowing brighter with every shift taking place inside your home. I need you to awaken, not because danger is approaching, but because my glory is drawing near you, and you must stand in the right place to receive it. My breath is moving through every room in your house, touching old wounds, long silences, and cracks everyone thought were buried too deep to ever matter again. Listen and understand this. The unusual quiet in your family lately is not true peace. It is the pause before a major spiritual movement. In the scriptures, I once said that I stand at the door and knock, and whoever hears my voice opens. Today I am knocking on the door of every heart in your home, and I am waiting for your awakening first. For a long time I have seen the pressure you never voiced, the strange shifts in the atmosphere of your home that you sensed but could not name. There were evenings your house felt calm. Yet your heart was restless without reason, as if something invisible was observing every movement inside your soul. Because your spirit is sensitive, you can feel the current running beneath the surface of your family's atmosphere. A current I want you to recognize before unexpected shifts sweep through. I have watched you stand in the middle of your home with your heart tightening at a casual sentence or an empty stare that looked harmless but carried the shadows of unresolved fears. I have seen the nights you lay on your side with open eyes and a heavy heart, feeling something calling you without knowing what it was. That is the invisible door trembling. My beloved child, before you listen to the next words, I want you to pause for a moment and breathe deeply, because what I am about to speak is not a gentle message meant to be scanned like any other encouragement. This is a wake-up call from heaven, a bell ringing from the unseen realm that is shaking the very roots of your family. There is a door the natural eye cannot see, but the spiritual realm has seen it open for a long time. And now it is glowing brighter with every shift taking place inside your home. I need you to awaken, not because danger is approaching, but because my glory is drawing near you, and you must stand in the right place to receive it. My breath is moving through every room in your house, touching old wounds, long silences, and cracks everyone thought were buried too deep to ever matter again. Listen and understand this. The unusual quiet in your family lately is not true peace. It is the pause before a major spiritual movement. In the scriptures, I once said that I stand at the door and knock, and whoever hears my voice opens. Today I am knocking on the door of every heart in your home. And I am waiting for your awakening first. For a long time I have seen the pressure you never voiced. The strange shifts in the atmosphere of your home that you sensed but could not name. There were evenings your house felt calm. Yet your heart was restless without reason, as if something invisible was observing every movement inside your soul. Because your spirit is sensitive, you can feel the current running beneath the surface of your family's atmosphere. A current I want you to recognize before unexpected shifts sweep through. I have watched you stand in the middle of your home with your heart tightening at a casual sentence or an empty stare that looked harmless but carried the shadows of unresolved fears. I have seen the nights you lay on your side with open eyes and a heavy heart, feeling something calling you without knowing what it was. That is the invisible door trembling. It does not belong to the natural realm, which is why you cannot see it. You can only feel it. You only know it. You only recognize it with the deepest layer of your soul. And that sensitivity is the sign that you cannot sleep spiritually anymore. I am not saying this to make you afraid, but to let you know that I have positioned you as the watchman of your household. There are promises I wrote for your family long ago, but they could not pour out until someone stood in alignment at the appointed time. You are that person. I called your name when you were still a child who could not distinguish emotion from intuition. And I planted in you the ability to sense shifts others overlook. I know there were times you wanted to run from that sensitivity because you thought it made you weak. But it is the very weapon I placed in you to protect your family from the spiritual tremors that are beginning to rise. Just as I warned the prophets before seasons changed, I am warning you now because your home is approaching a sacred intersection. One that only those who are chosen can fully hear. Remember what has happened recently. The atmosphere in your home shifted even when no one spoke. Small misunderstandings suddenly grew larger. Harmless conversations left invisible distance. Emotions cracked open in places no one dared to touch. None of this is random. These are signs that a spiritual door is opening. When heaven's light begins to shine upon a family, long-buried shadows surface first. You have read in Scripture that light reveals what is hidden. And that is happening now in your household, not to condemn, but to heal what can never be healed if left buried. You must not underestimate this moment. There is one truth I want you to carve into your heart. The awakening of even one person in a family can spare the entire household from an unnecessary season of trial. When you rise in awareness, you become the gatekeeper. The one who opens the way for blessing to enter and blocks whatever does not belong to me from crossing the threshold. I know you have often felt small, unprepared, or unqualified to shift anything in your family. But you do not need earthly authority. You only need the spiritual sensitivity I placed in you. You only need a heart that listens to me. You only need to stand in the right place. I will do the rest. In the days ahead, you will notice more signs. Someone in your home will become unusually sensitive. Someone else may grow quieter or more emotional. Certain conversations will arise that seem random, but they are exposing the very things I desire to heal. So this door is not lost. Stay close to me more than ever because I will speak to you in the smallest moments, in someone's unexplained sigh, in a brief wave of fatigue on their face, in an unspoken burden hiding in their eyes. Remember what I said long ago. Whoever has ears to hear, let them hear. In this hour, you must listen with your whole soul. My child, I am covering your family with a special protection in this season. Just as I once shielded the households of those who listen to my voice in times of transition, today I stand at the doorway of your family as well. But it is you who must open your heart first. You will be the bridge between me and those who are not yet ready to hear. You will be the gentle yet powerful awakening, the soft yet sharp reminder, the tender yet unwavering voice. Do not doubt what I speak. You were chosen for this very season. I placed you in that family not by accident. You are the one entrusted to stand at the invisible threshold to watch, to discern, and to call your household into the new life I have prepared. Now, I want you to understand more clearly why this invisible door is opening in this exact season, and why your awakening carries such decisive weight. Every family on earth is like a garden in my hands where I plant seeds of promise, blessing, and divine destiny. But a garden only blossoms when someone tends it. Someone who recognizes which shoots are weeds, which sprouts are good, and which branches must be pruned so that new life has room to grow. Your family has walked through long, quiet seasons, like a garden hidden under a thin layer of mist that conceals what is happening beneath the soil. That silence did not mean nothing was changing. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission will grow into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Giving to this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our COEF community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through hearts that are kind. This is what I say over you now. Each gift you give is like a stream of living water that flows into the life of someone who needs healing. Give and it will be given to you is not just a verse for Jesus. It is a living promise that shapes your future. Allow me to invite you now with a simple act of faith. Come into this moment with purpose, with honesty, and with hope. The money you give today is not a donation. The act of spiritual obedience that lets your heavens open is what opens them. Let go of your seed and see what God brings back into your life. It meant deep roots were shifting in secret. Today I pull back the mist so you may see what I have been doing underground. And I need you to step into the role of a gardener beside me. The one who sees what others cannot and understands what others are not yet able to grasp. When you are awake, you will know where to water, what to protect, and where to lay your hand so that the whole garden does not wither. Listen as I explain it in the language your soul understands best. Your family right now is like a house with many rooms, each one holding a fragment of the story. Memories, wounds, promises not yet opened. The invisible door I speak of is the entrance to the center of the house. The place where new life is either breathed in or blocked depending on who stands there. When that door opens, my light floods in and shines into every corner, leaving no hidden space untouched. So, do not be surprised that emotions have shifted in your home. That some have become more sensitive, more easily wounded, or more expressive than before. This is not chaos. This is my light passing through each room. Remember, light does not create disorder. It reveals what already exists. What I need from you is the peace within you. So, you do not mistake revelation for danger. It is only the first step of healing. I know there have been moments when you wondered, why do I feel pressure even though no one has said anything? You sense it because you are the one attuned to the movements of the spiritual atmosphere. You are like the compass in the house when the winds shift. Your needle trembles first. That is why I placed you as the watchman. A watchman does not need to know everything. A watchman needs to know timing. You sense unusual movements not because you are weak, but because you stand where the first breezes of the invisible realm touch. Do not see this as a burden. See it as a signal. A compass does not tremble to warn of danger. It trembles to point direction. You receive the signal so you can turn toward me. Listen for me and prepare for the steps I will guide you into. My beloved child, let me teach you how to operate in awakening without burning out. True awakening is not living in constant tension, scanning every direction in fear of missing something. True awakening is remaining peaceful yet alert. Like a soldier standing guard in armor without trembling. You only need to recognize spiritual movements and place them under my light. If you feel a strange heaviness in your home, take a deep breath and call my name in your mind. If someone in your family becomes uncharacteristically withdrawn, offer gentle intercession without forcing yourself to understand everything. If you sense the atmosphere growing heavy, invite my peace the way a host welcomes a guest of honor. You do not need to fight by your own strength. You need only clear the path. I will do the rest. I also want you to understand that not every emotion in your home originates from your family. When the invisible door opens, the meeting of light and darkness always releases stronger vibrations than usual. It is like the moment dawn touches night. It is not serene sunrise at first, but the shifting of heaven and earth as light pushes the darkness back. Your family is in that moment of transition. This shift can make people more tired, more emotional, more prone to misunderstanding. But all of this is simply evidence that the light is winning. Do not let these reactions make you think your family is regressing. In truth, you are crossing an old boundary and entering what I have long prepared. You must also understand this principle. The invisible door opens only when someone in the house holds the right posture. That someone is you. I do not need you to be perfect. I need you to be tender-hearted. I do not need you to be skilled. I need you to be willing like a lantern keeper in a foggy night who does not know exactly who is approaching but keeps the flame burning until the guest arrives. You only need to keep your heart bright. The light within you will draw your family toward me. You do not need to force anyone to change. Light never forces. Light simply shines. And anyone whose heart is searching will walk toward it on their own. My child, if you feel small in the face of what I am speaking, remember that the greatest stories in Scripture always began with someone who never believed they were capable. From shepherds to craftsmen, from the weak to the overlooked. I have always chosen those who know how to listen. I have always poured grace upon those with tender hearts rather than those with earthly strength. And I have always lifted the ones who understand their place within my design. You are exactly that kind of person. You are not perfect, but you are willing. You are not the strongest, but you know how to bow before me. And that alone is enough for me to place the doorway of your entire household upon your shoulders. I want to place in your hands a power you have underestimated for years. You are not merely someone who observes the movements within your family. You are the one who carries the flame, who keeps the rhythm, who stands in the gap to draw heaven down where the shadows try to slip in. You once believed you were only enduring the turbulence. But I tell you plainly, you are the one who shifts the spiritual trajectory when you stand on the foundation I have set for you. Your awakening is not a small advantage. It is the trumpet blast that opens the way for angels to move with force in your home. Every prayer you whisper from the deepest honesty does not fall to the ground. It is like a flaming arrow shot into the unseen territory you cannot see. You may think you are interceding quietly, but in reality, every word you carry shakes the things trying to restrain your family. When you step into spiritual battle with faith, all of heaven aligns with you because you are standing in the very role I have appointed. Understand this deeply. You are not alone in this battle. I have never let you face spiritual currents without covering or reinforcement. There were moments you felt exhausted as if you were fighting something bigger than your capacity. But what you felt was not excess. It was the moment I was expanding you. The way a swordsmith heats and hammers steel so it becomes sharper, stronger, and quicker. I have been training you through the days that made you a little tired, a little stretched, a little shaken because those days shaped the strength you need for this season of open doors. When you feel pressure, you are not weakening, you are growing. When you feel alone, my angels are standing around you like a wall of fire. You cannot see them with earthly eyes. But your spirit has already sensed the shift in the atmosphere. You must know that I have placed within you the authority to pull your entire family toward the light. This authority is not in raising your voice, not in arguments, not in proving your point. This authority lies in your steadiness, in your posture, in the gentleness you preserve. Even when the atmosphere around you is shaking, you do not fight with a physical sword. You fight with consistency, with faithfulness, with eyes that stay fixed on me even as everything else fluctuates. That is what darkness fears, because darkness has no power over someone who knows where they belong. When you stand firm, your whole household benefits. When you stand in the right position, your whole household rises. When you walk with me, the weaker ones in your home are pulled into the strength you carry. Let me strengthen your faith. This is not the time to shrink back. This is the time to rise. You do not have the permission to retreat just because your emotions whisper that you are weak. Emotions are not truth. The truth is that I have anointed you to be the guardian of the unseen doorway in your home. When I place that role on you, I always provide the authority required so that you will not tremble. I have placed in your words a weight even you do not fully understand. When you speak peace, real peace enters. When you intercede for someone in your family, real protection surrounds them. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our COEF community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to still souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself. Jesus says, this is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. When you choose forgiveness instead of clinging to small offenses, invisible chains in your household break. You are not passive. You are an agent of transformation. I know there have been days when you felt defeated by your own emotions. But look at this. A warrior is not measured by how many times they fall, but by how many times they rise. And you have risen far more often than you realize. There were days when you thought you could not win. And yet you still chose to take another step. There were nights you cried alone, and yet in the morning you still chose to love. There were moments you felt drained, and yet you did not abandon your intercession for your family. You did not see those victories, but I did. And I want you to know each time you stood back up, you pushed darkness one step further away from your home. My child, now I want to give you an image. You are like a pillar of light standing in the middle of your house, unnoticed by the eyes of those around you. Even though they cannot see the light with their physical sight, their spirits feel the warmth and safety it releases. When darkness tries to enter, it hesitates because of your glow. When the atmosphere in the home becomes heavy, the light within you makes the path of peace clearer. I placed that light in you long before you understood the meaning of awakening. You are not only a keeper of the door, you are a keeper of the light. And where there is light, there is hope. Let me lift the spirit of battle within you. You are not fighting alone. And you are not fighting in vain. You are standing exactly where I want you to stand, at the exact hour I want you to stand, in the exact season when the heavens are opening over your household. Every effort you have made, no matter how silent, no matter how unseen, has been recorded in the realm of heaven. The intercessory seeds you sowed in secrecy will soon become the fruit of healing for your entire family. You will witness my promises taking form right before your eyes. Let me draw you into the gentler depths of what I have already spoken. For none of my warnings ever end with fear. They always open into protection, support, and a fresh breath of life for your home. Everything I revealed to you in the first layers was only the surface of the waters. I am leading you into like standing before a quiet lake, unaware of the reservoir of life hidden beneath. I want you to know that the movements within your household lately, even the ones that confuse you, are simply natural reactions of the soul when heaven touches a living space. When light enters, it does not come to accuse. It comes to help every person see one another more clearly and see themselves within my heart. Do not use old eyes to interpret new changes. Stand from the posture of gentleness and you will understand more and carry less. The tremors you feel are not meant to unsettle you. They are signs that I am nearer than in the moments when you thought you were standing alone in the dark. Believe this when I stand near. No matter what your family walks through, everything has a way out. Every door has a key and every wound has a day of healing. Let me soothe your heart about the things you have worried about for so long. Things you speak to no one. Things you sometimes cannot even name yourself. I know the nights when you lie still, sensing the atmosphere of the house shift for reasons you cannot pinpoint, only knowing that something is moving because you are sensitive. You feel it long before others do. But understand this: your sensitivity was never meant to drain you. It was meant to make you the first to open the channel of peace so that it can flow through the rest of the home. You are like the one at the headwaters where the stream passes first, sometimes carrying both its strength and its cold. But through you calm begins to spread. You don't need to rush, understand everything at once, or fear that you are doing something wrong. Just keep your heart soft and everything in the house will slowly find its order again. Walk with inner ease, for only ease allows you to hear my whisper in the smallest shifts. My child, I see how you love your family, though you tire. Though you sometimes feel you carry more than others. Though there are days when you wish you could let it all go just to feel lighter. But I tell you this to strengthen you. Your love is not wasted. Not one drop of your sacrifice is lost. You have stood in the spaces no one else knew how to stand. You have prayed over wounds others were too afraid to confront. You have placed your hands on the silent fractures in the home so that peace would have a place to return to. I have seen it all. And I want you to know that this is not a season where you must push harder. This is a season where you learn how to let me carry with you. Like a father placing his hand over the shoulder of a child struggling to lift a basket too heavy. I lay my hand on your shoulder so the weight you carry shifts from burden to the gentle rhythm of companionship. In the days ahead, you will realize that the unusual shifts in your home are not working against your family. They are helping every person find their rightful place, like stones rearranged in a strong current that settle exactly where they belong once the water calms. You will see someone in your home beginning to speak the feelings they once hid. Someone will soften in a place where they used to be hard. Small things, an apology, a warm glance, a gentle act, will begin to reappear like light slipping through a barely open door. Not everything changes in one day. But little by little, layer by layer, moment by moment, I am softening the atmosphere so that your entire household can sense the heavens opening. Be patient, for true healing always arrives with a slow but certain rhythm. I want you to know one more important truth. You are not the only one in your family I am touching. Though some remain silent or avoidant or act as if nothing is happening, I am stirring more within them than you realize. Their silence is not resistance. It is simply unfamiliarity with the light. Do not force them to open the door or all at once. A room long closed needs time for light to reach every corner. So does the soul. Just keep your light steady. For a steady light is the strongest invitation I can give through you. In every family there is one who can stand at the intersection between heaven and earth, between what has been and what is about to come. You are that person. Not because you are better than anyone, but because your heart hears me more readily. Not because you are strong, but because you know how to lean on me. Not because you are flawless, but because you do not reject the call. I choose such hearts to shield their homes from unnecessary darkness and to open the way for unexpected light. Do not fear that role. Do not ask why me. I choose the ones who can carry light into places where light has difficulty staying. And you have done that many times without even realizing it. Let me heal the part of you that once believed you were only someone who endured. You are not merely enduring. You are stepping into the place of the one who carries the lamp. The light you carry does not depend on your emotions, nor does it depend on the stability of those around you. It depends on whether you allow me to pour into you each day. In this season, I want you to learn this truth. Every time you breathe deeply and call my name in your heart, the light within you ignites again. Every time you choose peace over reaction, the light grows stronger. Every time you choose love over cold silence, you are about to enter your divine future. Remember that this message does not end with you. People can use your breakthrough to get where they need to go through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our COEF community, you can help this mission. By doing so, you are sowing into the awakening, deliverance, and restoration of souls who are still trapped in darkness. This is not poetry. When Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you," every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and safety for your family. Now is your time, my child. Have faith, and as you do, watch God multiply what you let go of. The light expands. You do not need noise to shift the atmosphere. You only need to shine where I place you. My child, before you leave this message, I want to place upon your heart the final breath of the new season I am leading you into. You have listened not only with your ears but with the deepest layer of your soul, the place that recognizes what is truly unfolding in your family. I have felt every beat of your heart as my words touched places you thought had been silent for too long. And I want you to know that the trembling inside you now is not instability. It is the sign that your soul is ready to step into the light. I am opening. Let these words remain with you like the lingering warmth in your hands after holding a candle in the cold night. When you walk away from here, that light goes with you, saturating the way you see your